Hello again to all my YouTube watchers, family, and friends. And if you're a newcomer to my channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. Now, for a long time, I had wanted to do such a video as this. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing with us at least 10 tips on how to make the most of what you have in your home and basically in economizing in today's, stressful society where everything is going up and but your pay is not exactly going up. So my 10 tips I'm going to be sharing. The first one, if you have Pringles and you got yourself a can of Pringles, don't be too quick to throw away the can because it may just come in handy. And one of the ways you can recycle your Pringle is to use it to store nuts and any of your favorite snacks. And it's quite useful because it keeps away insects and all of that. You may buy a pack of crisps and you can always transfer it to your can of Pringles. Pringles can also be used for a small type of dustbin, or you can use to store sweets, and so you can really extend the life of this. Okay, the next thing on the list is extending the life of cleaner, your cleaner or your liquid soap. Say if you have a container such as this, you can always add a Dettol to it, and you really can make the most of it. Even if you have dishwashing liquid, you can dilute it and simply add some Dettol, and it is just as effective. Number three, your bin bags. Many times we have our bin bags and we don't exactly fill them. And so if it is large enough, you can even split it in half by folding it down the center and cutting and then sealing up the loose ends with sellotape. This is quite small, but just for an example, because many times the bin bags can be quite large, you know, quite large, and because of that, they don't really fill up so quickly. And depending on what you have, you may want to just get rid of it. And so, this method you can turn your 10 bin bags into 20 or 20 into 40 bin bags. Now, this next tip is about coconut milk or coconut cream. When you have a can such as this is not containing coconut cream, but they come in something like that. When you have a can of coconut cream, you can make the most of it by freezing it, because when you put it on the bottom of the fridge, many times it goes very fast, and so we tend to use more than we need to. But how can you extend the life of it? You pour it into a separate container and you dilute it with perhaps as much as 3/4 cup of warm water, just so it mixes easily, and you simply freeze it. And an effective way of storing it in the freezer is to put it in ice trays. I find that method works excellent. And so when you put the coconut milk in ice trays, when it's frozen, you simply transfer it to a Ziploc bag. You transfer the ice cubes into a Ziploc bag, and that way you're able to better control and economize on the use of your coconut milk. And so I'm down to five now. When you have your leave-in conditioner, many times they can be quite thick, and so you can dilute it. Now, diluting does not necessarily make it lose its effect because you're going to dilute, say, a full container of this. I would dilute it at least one, one or twice, one or two times. And even then, it can be quite thick. So when I dilute it, say perhaps if I have the bottle is one third full, I would fill up the rest of it. And then I further fortify it by adding my favorite oil. You know, my favorite oil is grapeseed oil. Perhaps yours is different. You can use avocado oil or you can use several oils in there. And it makes a lovely, light leave-in conditioner. And you can also dilute it further and let it be a light leave-in conditioner for during the week. And you can also make a solution of oil, your favorite oil and water, and that makes a perfect spray for those in between times for your hair. And you just want to, lightly moisturize your hair. And so, number six, it is good to have to make a kind of inventory. Say, when you're shopping, make a list. When you make a list, it helps to keep the focus and cuts out that urge to be impulsively spending, you know. And when I say inventory, I mean you can say for certain items, not necessarily for all, but certain items what you tend to waste. Say, for instance, um, if you have paper towels or stuff like that, paper towels or foil for that matter, you can, what I find works is that when you make an inventory, meaning you you do something like this and you write down item, the name of the item, the start date, and the finish. So the name of the item, the start date, and the finish. And that way I think you can better keep track of how you use, make a time or judge the time you think you would finish it and, keep a check on it. And so this one now is concerning making your own bedbug spray, which I find is very cost effective. Here's how you do it. Say, for instance, you have on a normal basis, bed bugs or any insect can be quite, you know, distressing. And especially bed bugs because they are insects that feed on your blood. And it's a bit kind of scary thinking about that. And they are bigger than mosquitoes, so they rely on your blood so much. And you see the marks on your sheets. It can be quite distressing, that they are around. But I found an all good all rounder which cuts out even insecticide. And it is this by using simple disinfectant. You can use one such as Dettol or any antibacterial cleanser. And the way how it is done is to clean your house each week. Now, I'm not saying you don't clean your house, but this is taking cleaning to another level. Whereas, sorry, I find using disinfectant undiluted in a solution of soap and water each week. This is for the initial stage when the bed bugs are active. Because these days I don't even use it that often because there's no need to. But or in that way, undiluted. And so you use disinfectant undiluted in a container with soapy water and vacuum your carpet. Or if you don't have a carpet, you clean your house thoroughly with that. Now, during the week, it's good to spray periodically around the house. But that um, set of spraying can be done with diluted disinfectant, because the scent may be offensive to others in the house. And so the least I would dilute, say 50-50, and you dilute. I've added Dettol, and sometimes I add another antibacterial just to make sure that these insects don't get used to the scent. And so, because of the antibacterial properties, it's very effective at killing the insects. It's very effective at dealing with the hidden eggs because their eggs are very small and the scent keeps them away. But even if it doesn't have scent, it still kills 99% of bacteria. And I discovered over time that just simply using disinfectant cuts out even the need for using regular insecticide, and it's more pleasant than using regular insecticide, which has a very offensive and damaging effect on your nasal passages. And some disinfectants smell high as well, but not as harsh. But you can ventilate your house, after the weekly cleaning and so on. But use it diluted at other times. And over time, you just see none because it's been a year now and I don't think I've ever seen one. And I used to see them every now and again. And it was quite distressing. And I tried a lot of stuff. I tried diatomaceous earth and some of the other stuff online, which they say works. And some of them work, but they finish so fast. But when you have a bottle of antibacterial, now this bottle of antibacterial only costs £1 something, and it's highly effective. And Dettol only costs £2. Comes in a similar. Okay, down to number 8. And so we're going to try to make the best use of what we have. And so if you have a tablet and you don't have a case for it, you can use a diary, an old diary, cut out the leaves and attach the tablet firmly using duct tape or sellotape. And when you're done, you cut out, use a very sharp knife and cut out a hole for the camera, and it makes a very effective case because many of these diaries are quite attractive looking, you know. It's just that they are not tablet cases, but you can customize it and make it into your tablet case. Okay, okay. Now this one is one you may not believe, but it's true. You can make your own eye drops simply, a general cleanser for your eyes, simply by using bottled water. Simple, plain bottled water. However, it's best to buy the one that is purified spring water. And when you use spring water, it makes a good eye wash. Yes, I had an experience where I had what they call hay fever symptoms, and my eye was itching so bad, and I would purchase a lot of. I went to the doctor, got a prescription, and tried to get it done. And in no time, the tiny vial was finished, and the symptoms returned. And you know, after a while, I really racked my brain and tried to think of another solution because sometimes I deal with holistic healing, which is using the natural. So when I thought it over, I realized what was the problem. Basically, it was a self-diagnosis, and I think it makes sense. And this was it. I said to myself, when I was younger, I'm now 62. When I was younger, I never had any eye issues such as this. It was such a deep itch in my left eye, and it had my eye swollen and all of that, and forming scabs and all of that. So it was a really deep, intense issue. And I looked into it and said, what could be the reason? Why is it I never had this issue when I was younger? And over time, I realized what it was. I said to myself, it must be some sort of bacteria in the ear, of course. That's what caused, some virus. But why wasn't I affected when I was younger? And I worked it out. It's because when you're younger, your immune system is stronger. And so I said, okay, this is a matter of hygiene then. Because I washed my face, but I said, I'm going to treat it as if it's a matter of hygiene. And so I said, I'm going to try using just plain water and see what happens. And it worked. And so I know I don't have it here, but I have a spray bottle, which I just fill with natural spring water. And I keep that bottle very clean and I just fill it with spring water. And friends, ever since I done that, every time hay fever time comes around, that's what I use. And I use it otherwise for my eye hygiene. No Optrix, nothing. Just that. Just for example, because the one I was using was not Optrix. But whatever it is, I have never had to buy another commercialized product. I simply use spring water, and I believe it may work for you as long as you don't have a chronic eye problem, just a simple, virus and causing you a little discomfort in your eyes. Try using natural spring water, and I believe 80 to 90% your problem will be solved. Okay, so I hope that this is proven useful to you. And my last tip on the list will be the making of your own envelopes. You can make your own envelopes if you find yourself unexpectedly not having an envelope and not being in a position to go out at that moment. You can make your own envelopes simply by folding. It's simply done by folding a piece of paper twice. This is a size A4 paper. Folding it twice. And when you fold it twice, you connect the edges using a pen, and as you can see, it's a diamond, shape of a diamond. Now, after you have done that, then you're gonna cut the outer edges. I'm gonna cut the outer edges to get your diamond. So this is the technique to make a basic envelope, you know. And so the first thing you're gonna do is fold the two middle pieces, such as that, in this way. And then you're gonna bring up the base. And then you're gonna secure with using your paper glue. Then when you're done, you just have the top, and that's the flap. Now this is a basic. This is a basic, right? And so I'm going to show you a few envelopes that can be made simply by just using that method. And so this is another method is you have the same paper and you make a margin on each side, and you can glue it down with paper glue. Then you fold it in half, and now this paper was rectangular, you know, so you fold it in half, and then you just have your flap. So it's quite simple, even simpler than the first method. And this can be used as a type of business envelope. And so after you have folded, then you securely glue down the sides. And when you're ready to use, you can just use glue. If you want to neaten it up, you can do so, cutting off the edges, and you can make your envelope in a jiffy. So I hope these tips prove to be useful, and if you like, you can give it a thumbs up, and see you in the next video.